Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're exploring a couple of really powerful frameworks, ways to understand how you work, mentally, emotionally, even energetically.
That's right. We're going to look at two, I think, quite compelling ideas. First, thinking of your body almost like a hotel, and second, tapping into the practical wisdom of what we call inner archetypes.
Okay.
And this isn't about, anything too abstract or woo-woo. It's really about understanding your internal mechanics.
Right, the actual nuts and bolts.
Exactly. To gain, well, deeper self-awareness and some actionable tools for feeling better, for well-being.
And that's the key, isn't it? Making these maybe abstract sounding concepts into something clear, something you can actually use day to day.
Yeah.
So our mission here is basically to give you a shortcut, a way to navigate your inner world with a bit more ease.
Precisely.
Okay, so let's dive in. This body hotel metaphor.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. How does that work?
Okay, so picture your body, quite literally, as a hotel. And every breath you take isn't just oxygen. It's like information, life force, energy coming in through the lobby, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And it moves up to your central system, almost like a powerful internal vortex. Imagine it spinning, pulling, circulating this energy to every single floor, every room, your organs, muscles, nerves, bones.
Oh, okay, a vortex.
Yeah, and it's designed, really, to keep everything running smoothly, like a high-performance machine.
But like any hotel or machine, things can go wrong,
Right.
right? There can be problems.
Exactly. And this is the critical part, especially from that therapist perspective you mentioned, the concept of the blockage.
The blockage.
So when you hold on to stuff, unprocessed thoughts, things you haven't said, maybe old grief, silent frustration, this energy flow, this vortex, it jams up.
Right.
Think of trying to blow air through a pipe that's clogged.
Yeah.
The smooth flow stops, pressure builds, and what should be easy circulation turns into, well, stagnation, strain, inside your system.
And that stagnation, that strain, that's not just theoretical, is it? It shows up.
Oh, absolutely. It shows up physically as tension, maybe chronic fatigue, sometimes even illness. It can strain relationships, mess with how you make decisions.
You mentioned an analogy before about fire alarms. Like you wouldn't ignore a fire alarm in a hotel.
Exactly. So why do we ignore these internal emotional alarms? That tension in your chest, that ache in your gut, the lump in your throat.
Good question. Why do we ignore them so often?
Well, it's often complex. Sometimes we weren't taught how to listen, or maybe listening feels overwhelming, or we just don't connect the physical feeling to the emotional root.
Right.
But the key insight is that your body is constantly giving you feedback, really precise physical feedback. It's like a language of symptoms telling you exactly what emotional work is, maybe unfinished.
So ignoring it is like missing a vital clue.
A huge missed opportunity for healing, yeah.
Okay, so if our body is sending these signals, these alarms, where do they typically show up? Which floors of the hotel?
They tend to pool in specific areas. For instance, the throat area, let's call it the fifth floor. That's often where unspoken needs or bottled up emotions get stuck. You might feel it as like a tight throat or a cough that won't go away.
Okay, makes sense.
Then the heart area, the fourth floor, storing old grief, betrayal, unmet expectations. That could feel like a heaviness, a sorrow, actual tightness in the chest.
Yeah.
Down in the solar plexus, the third floor, think gut feelings. That's often where unprocessed anger, shame, bitterness tends to collect. It impacts organs like the liver, stomach. One source even described being red with rage as the liver vomiting fire.
Wow, vivid.
Then the sacral area, second floor, often relates to repression, guilt, maybe impacting creativity or emotional flow.
Yeah.
And the root, the first floor, that's about security. So unacknowledged fear or panic can literally shake your foundations.
So the takeaway is keep the vortex clear.
Essentially, yes, speak what's stuck, name what hurts, move what lingers, maybe through exercise or just conscious release. Clearing those blocks restores energy, restores power to your whole system.
Right. So once we start clearing these blockages, are there other tools? Ways to proactively manage this inner landscape, make better decisions?
Perfect transition. That brings us to what we call your inner court of wisdom, or the 4 inner archetypes.
Inner court of wisdom. I like that.
Yeah. Think of these not as abstract concepts, but as different kinds of intelligence living within you. Distinct perspectives. We call them the lover, the magician, the sovereign, and the warrior.
Okay, lover, magician, sovereign, warrior. How do we consult this court? Is it like talking to yourself?
It's a bit deeper than just self-talk, though that's part of it. It's about accessing different modes of processing. The technique is actually quite practical. When you face a challenge, a decision, anything, You consciously take a moment, maybe breathe, get quiet,
Uh-huh, drop in.
drop in, exactly. And you ask the same question to all four archetypes. Each one gives you a different angle, a different kind of information.
Okay, tell me about them. What does each one represent?
So, the lover is your emotional intelligence. It asks, how do I truly feel about this? What makes my heart feel soft? Or what feels right in my gut?
Right, the feeling center.
Then the magician. That's your intuitive intelligence, the patterns here. It asks, what's the hidden truth here? Is there a deeper dynamic I'm missing? Am I repeating something?
The intuitive part.
The sovereign is about leadership, integrity, your core values. It asks, what decision aligns with my authentic self? What's the most principled path? What serves the greater good here?
The leader within. Got it.
And finally, the warrior. This is your action-oriented protective intelligence. It asks, what action is needed? What boundary needs to be set? What do I need to defend or fight for?
Okay, I can see how they offer different perspectives. Can you give an example? Like for a big decision.
Sure. Say, a career change. The lover might ask, what work actually excites me, sets my heart on fire?
Yeah.
The magician might prompt, am I running from something or towards something? Is this pattern familiar?
Ooh, good question.
The sovereign considers, does this align with my long-term vision, my integrity? And the warrior asks, what's the bold step I need to take to make this happen? What fears do I need to push through?
Wow. And for like a conflict.
Same process. Lover, can I speak with empathy here, magician? What's the real issue beneath the surface? Sovereign. How can I handle this with dignity and set the right tone? Warrior, do I need to protect my peace here? Set a clear boundary.
So you get this much richer picture by asking all four.
Exactly. It gives you the full truth, like looking at different facets of a diamond. You get a much more comprehensive, grounded insight than just relying on, say, logic or emotion alone.
This really feels like it gives you tools to understand your own operating system better, to navigate things with, more clarity and less overwhelm or
Yeah.
agency.
Absolutely. It's about reclaiming that internal power and wisdom.
Which really leads to a final thought, doesn't it?
It does. It raises an important question for everyone listening. How might consciously engaging with these internal voices, the state of your hotel, the wisdom of your inner chord, how might that actually transform your daily approach? To challenges, to self-care, guiding you to solutions that feel right across your whole being? Mental, emotional, energetic, all of it.